Hello friends, Kurt Bergman with you, and it's good to be with you. This is my first video since we have come back, so it's a pleasure to be with you, and don't forget to click like and subscribe to my channel. Today we're doing something a little bit different, but something that I've been looking forward to for several weeks now. As you know, or as you may not know, I have become a huge fan of the NPB, Japanese professional baseball, and along with that, I have started a, admittedly, very basic, just dipping my foot in the pool, Japanese baseball card collection, and I decided I would go the easy route with the first box that I bought, and that is with what I think is the last product produced by the Topps Company when they were the Topps Company, before they bit the dust or got bought out or whatever you want to say. There's all the corporate machinations going on. What I did was I went online and I purchased a set of Topps NPB 2021, a box of Topps NPB 2021 baseball cards, and we're going to rip those today. Want to give a thank you for excellent service to wowzzer.com. I will put that information in the description for this video if you'd like to check them out. The prices were great, and the shipping was lightning fast. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to be looking for hits, but I'm going to take a few minutes and kind of show you what the cards look like as well. There are 24 packs in this box. All right, with all that said, let's get to ripping. This was released, it was either November or December, I can't remember which, of 2021. I want to say late November 2021. I could be off on that by a couple of weeks. On this cover of the box, you get all of the logos of the 12 teams in the NPB. All right, let's open this baby up. As I create this video, there is a lockout going on in Major League Baseball. However, Seiya Suzuki, who is probably the star, one of the stars of the NPB at this moment, is being courted, and the last thing by the major leagues, and the last thing I read, I think the Mariners and the Giants are rumored to be in the lead in getting him, although at various times the Yankees, the Red Sox, and a bunch of others have been rumored in that regard. All right, so here's what your packs look like. Topps first, and as it turns out, what will be the only NPB set that Topps produces, unless they produced one a long time ago, but I don't think so. I don't think that they did. All right, so here we go. All right, a couple of things about the set. I'm gonna hold this real close so you can get a look at the name of the player. This is Shuta Ishikawa, a fine pitcher for SoftBank, but his name is a little bit tough to read, and this is going to be the criticism of this set. As you look at the card, just normally, and as we kind of scan through these, many of these will be difficult, the names will be difficult to read at a glance, so you got to look a little closer. So we flip it, and there are stats in the usual places, the SoftBank logo, and some, but not a lot, not all Japanese writing, but there's some there, but you can certainly figure out what the stats look like. All right, so with all that said, let's start ripping. Big home run hitter, Sugimoto. Yamakawa. You can see, here's one that's a little easier to see the name on, but again, this is the critique of the set. Here's a guy, here's a pitcher. Hiromi Ito. And here is our first chase card in this set. This is Seiya Suzuki, modeled after the 1986 Topps set. So we're going to put him aside. Let's see. Now we have, notice this is 2015 MVP, Tetsudo Yamada. He is a second baseman. He's perhaps lost his step, but big time power. You could make a case this guy's the best second baseman, a pure second baseman in Japanese baseball history. But notice there is a nice mix here of what the players are doing. It's not all pitchers pitching and hitters hitting. There's a nice blend. All right, one pack down. Here we go with number 2. So Seiya Suzuki may or may not end up a Major League Baseball player, depending upon the lockout, and of course, depending upon his ability to come to terms on a contract. He has said, and I know what you're going to say, but because I've said it too, but he has said that money is not his first priority. Here is a pull. Here's a hit. Yuki Matsui, a left-handed pitcher for the... Oh my gosh, my eyes are really bad on this. Oh, this is the Eagles. All right. I'm going to put him aside. And here is a U.S. pitcher, Scott McClough, a guy who last year, he's had some different roles, but last year was mostly a setup guy in the bullpen, throws hard. And as you can see, there is a blend of landscape and portrait views. Here's Seiya Suzuki on his regular card. And that goes pack number 2. So we got, I guess you'd say, 2 hits so far. For my money, the best catcher, well, I don't know. Maybe I just like him the best. But boy, this guy can throw. Takuya Kai. Oop. And we lost one. And here's maybe the closer of the NPB right now. Ryoji Kurabayashi had a huge season last year. And no stats. Of course, these stats are from 2020 because this was released in 2021. All right. And there we go. Number 3 in the books. So we'll see where Suzuki winds up. Well, actually, we'll see if there's a season or not. I guess that's the first question. But depending upon how it goes, Suzuki may... was a center fielder, now a right fielder for the Hawks. Yuki Yanagita was at one point maybe the best player in baseball. Major uppercut, major power, great throwing arm. Amazing player. One of the best, and an all-timer. I think we can safely say at this point, an all-timer in the NPB. All right, so we are coming to the end, of pack number 4. Here we go with 5. So if there is a season, well, actually, Seiya Suzuki is going to have to make a decision, because as soon as I say this, the MLB, as I record this video, the MLB has put together a couple of offers. Well, first of all, they offered a mediation, and that was rejected by the Players Association. Livan Moinello might be the best setup man in the game in the NPB right now. Throws really hard. I think would have a fine major league career if he wanted. But the Players Association is pretty dug in, and so are the owners. And so it's going to be interesting to see if anybody caves anytime soon. But the way that that's going to impact Suzuki is that he's running out of time, because the NPB spring training has begun, and opening day at this point, I think, for the major leagues is really not going to happen. I mean, it's a couple days from them saying there's going to have to be a change in the schedule of some kind, that they can't get spring training done safely for the conditioning of the players. Oh, these are some good-looking cards. Still hard to read on the hits, but the names on the hits, but wonderful photography, great looks at these players. Wow, Masato Morishita was the winner of the gold medal game in the 2021 Olympics for Japan. So it looks more and more like Seiya Suzuki isn't going to get to come this year if he wants to play baseball. But we'll see how that works out. There are some wonderful players on the horizon that may be coming in the next couple of seasons. However, here's a former MLBer, Leonis Martin. But it's as far as this season goes, Suzuki is the man. He's the headliner. And so we'll have to see how that shakes out. The labor negotiations not going well in MLB, and it's having a ripple effect on the NPB as well. And I'm sure, for that matter, on the Korean League, the KBO. Another big-time closer, Kaima Taira, right here. Big time in more ways than one, as you can look at his physique, but a fantastic closer. No worse than third or fourth best. Here's Tetsuya Yamada's 1986 version card that, and Yamada is the guy I was talking about before at second base. Has also represented Japan well internationally. And that's it for this pack, okay? So, what do you guys think? Is there going to be a season, or what date do you predict for the start of the season? I would say you can put your prediction in the comment section below. Here's, in my view, the best pitcher on the planet, Yoshinobu Yamamoto. This is his base card from the set. got some doubles here. There are about 18 players per team that were carded in the set. So there are some, obviously there's the 1986 version of the cards that also increased the size of the set. Looks like we got another hit coming up here. And here is Moinello, who I was talking about just a minute ago. Throws awfully hard, left-handed, middle relief, or setup man, but certainly has the gas to close. And that does it for this pack. All right, next. If Suzuki lands, well, I would say either in San Francisco or in Seattle, we're talking about major impact on those division races. Suzuki is a major power hitter, has speed, can steal bases, has excellent strike zone judgment, does not strike out a ton, although everybody strikes out these days, but he does not strike out as much as many sluggers do. This is the program card from the Carp, Hiroshima Carp. Zealous Wheeler is kind of a corner infield, corner outfield, jack of all trades with big time power. Strikes out a lot, doesn't walk as much as he should, but he is also known in the major leagues. You may know Zealous. All right, next. Lots of singles as well as boxes available. There is also a chrome version of this set that is available in boxes that you can get online. There are some big names we have not seen so far. Just taking a really quick look. There are some, here's one big name that we haven't seen yet, but may become the NPB's second 3,000 hitman. This is Hayato Sakamoto, a shortstop for the Giants, and he has been an MVP. He is, I think, pretty unquestionably the best shortstop in the NPB's history. He combines the defense and the power in a way that the MLB shortstops have done now for several decades. NPB shortstops were glove men first, really until Sakamoto hit the scene about 12 years ago. But he has changed the landscape for that and just may become this number 2 3,000 hitman. So we'll see how that kind of works out. Taking a really quick look for hits and well-known, especially well-known international. Here is a guy that won a Gold Glove this year, or a Best 9 award. Sorry, a Best 9 award. Koji Chikamoto is a center fielder with big-time speed for Hanshin, and won a Best 9. There are 2 sets of Best 9s, one for each league, each 6-team league in the NPB. He can play. His arm isn't overwhelming, but he's got range. He can steal bases. He gets on. kind of an older time player that is fun to watch. I think that's my third McGuff card that I just passed. Here's the program card for the Hawks. Here's another best niner. Nakamura, a catcher. And here's Morishita again. Great pitcher. All right. Next pack. Got a mix here of game action. Looks like some batting practice action. Here's a gamer. You can see there's a variety of looks, how close we are with the shots. So, interesting. All right. Next up, I started to make a point both about the Giants outfield and the Mariners outfield, of course, where Suzuki would be a great fit. He is a right fielder. I think, actually, he could play center. I think he's fast enough to do it. I don't know that anybody would want him to do it because, of course, there would be an expenditure of energy playing center field that may take away from his offense. And, you know, offense is really what we're talking about. But having said that, I think he's good enough to do it. And if a right fielder can play center field, then we're talking about I think a potential Gold Glover type player. And so he's got that. But if you put him on the Giants roster last season, I think that I want to talk about this guy too. He is near the end. Nobuhiro Matsuda is a third baseman. He has represented the team, the international team, very, very well. He's near the end of his career, but he has had an amazing career. So Suzuki's impact on the lineup in either San Francisco or if he goes to Seattle, either one would be very, very powerful. Now, one of the things that you get in this set that Topps has produced is young players. In the NPB, they have 70 player organizations, 70. That's how big their organizations are. And so their rosters are 28 men, 25 of whom are active for any one game. So the draft is very important. Here's Adam Jones. Orioles fans will fondly remember. He had pretty much pinch hitting duties last year. They were hoping he could hit enough to hold down a regular job, but he did not. So here's Kaima Taira in the 1986 Topps version. He is the other closer I mentioned before. So that's a nice hit. So if you put Suzuki in either the Seattle or the San Francisco lineup last year, I think you're talking about a playoff team in either city, because that's how much he would add. He's going to add in terms of power, he's going to add in terms of defense, and he's going to add in terms of on-base percentage. Submariners, you do see them in the NPB, and this guy here is maybe the second best shortstop, Sosuke Genda. Very fast, not like his counterpart with the Giants, whose name is escaping me at the moment. because speed is his game, not power. Here's a guy who was rumored to be Major League Baseball bound not that long ago, Masahiro Tanaka. He may still go. 2018, this is the guy that they thought was going and would be a fine pitcher. Oh, I'm thinking of somebody else. Yeah, Tanaka was there, wasn't he? He's back. I'm thinking of, it'll come to me. Tanaka, of course, was a Yankee. See if they put that on here. No, they do not. This was his return to the NPB, Tanaka. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Still getting used to the names, still getting used to, but the game is amazing. Whether you're talking about international play or regular season play in the NPB, very entertaining baseball. The three true outcomes that we talk about with the major leagues, not as much of a factor, not as prevalent. About 7% less prevalent, actually, than in the major leagues, which to me make it a whole lot more interesting, a whole lot more watchable. Small ball matters more. And there's only 12 teams. Here's Shuta Ishikawa. And so with 12 teams and 25 or 28 players, we're not talking about a lot of names to learn. As if you were going to be starting your fandom for the MLB, you'd have 30 teams, 25 active players, but then another 25 at some point during the season called upon, because the minor leagues have become such a big part of every Major League Baseball team's arsenal. Third baseman for the Giants, Kazuma Okamoto, big-time power. Probably doesn't walk as much as he should, but boy, this guy can play. Big, big, big power. And I think that's it for this pack. Yes, it is. A couple more to go, and we will have ripped a box of Topps 2021 NPB cards. Here's another Kaimatira. Here's a guy who may be MLB bound. Big time gas. Kodai Senga wants to go, but the Hawks will not let him. And of course, he has to be posted by a team or a 10-year veteran to be eligible to negotiate with the major leagues. So this guy here might be the best natural hitter. I don't know. In the NPB, it's close. Yoshida, left-handed batter, been compared to Gwynn, actually, but he's got more power than Tony did. All right. If your eyes are old like mine, not only is the color scheme of the cards, not only can that be challenging, but just the size of the font can be a challenge on some of these. Not all of them, but some of them. It's a fun set, though. I like it because the pictures are good. We're going to be learning enough Japanese to figure out what all this means in the months to come. So it's going to be fun. And if you're a subscriber to my channel, you already know I've created a set of APA compatible cards that you can buy from me to get the greatest NPB players of the past and present on your tabletop. So that is something you can, I will put the information for that in the description for this video as well. This has been fun. This is a good set, a good box. Got some nice pulls. There's Kodai Senga again. I really believe you're going to be hearing a lot more about him because, I don't know, SoftBank has more players than they can probably keep, can probably use. Here's Adam Jones again. All right. So we'll go through one more look and then we'll finish with Seiya Suzuki. All right. So we'll take one more look at our pulls or our hits or semi-hits before we take off. All right. Excellent. Well, thank you for joining me. This is the Topps 2021 NPB box. Thanks for being with me. Don't forget to click like and subscribe to my channel. We're going to be doing a lot more unboxings, rippings, things of that nature coming up. I have a whole bunch of NPB cards that have arrived in the mail. I'm going to do a video on those as well coming up in the next few days. So thanks for being with me. I'm Kurt Berglund. Have a wonderful evening. So long, everybody.